So if you're stuck in the doldrums, in that sort of grey area, you're not getting faster, you're not getting fitter, then this video is definitely for you, where I look at 6 key workouts within your training plan to make sure you perform on that race day. So I'm going to put together some videos now. There's going to be a few of them going on forward, so please subscribe, check them out. And what I'm going to try and do is share some of the success I've had. I've just come off a really good race, done really well. I've been training for 3 years now this way, and it's really helped me. And I just think it's time to share some of that intelligence, if you want to call it, and so that you can construct a really good training plan. What we're trying to do is we're trying to create a stress for the body. We're trying to get that body to recover, and we're also really trying to get that body to adapt as well throughout that training plan, throughout your annual training plan, okay? I like to think of them as a big family of workouts, and there's 6 of them I do. They're classed as workouts, but you could call them sessions or activities. However, there's 6 of them, okay? The first one is the easy run, then the second is the fartlek, then you have aerobic power, and then you have threshold, you have aerobic endurance, and you also then have the long run. And there's a cheeky little 7th as well, which I've just worked out after doing a few years of this, so I'll share that at the end. Right then, the first one is the easy run. We all know what an easy run is. It's so important, yeah? It's a low impact session. The idea of an easy run is to recover from those harder sessions, to adapt the body ready for when you need to actually really go and work hard. We do easy runs because it improves capillarization in the body, and it improves vascularization. The heart muscle, you're making that heart muscle a lot stronger, because when you run easy, the heart is beating a lot slower, big rhythmic beats, high volume of blood being pumped around your body. Shuttling all that oxygen around and nutrients. It's a great run for recovery and to adapt, okay? You want to be doing that about 5 RPE. If you don't know what RPE is, it's rate or rated or perceived exertion. I've done a video on that, which I'll put up there. Yeah, so 5 RPE is probably the way you want to go. And, you know, sometimes at the end of an easy run, it's good to do strides. It's also good to maybe do hill sprints. And it's also good, you can add a progression in, like a 9K with a 3K progression, depending on what level you're at and what stage of your training you're at. So there we go, that's the easy run. Right then, the second one is a fartlek. We all know or have heard what that is, but I like to think it's kind of the introductory phase to the arena of workouts as such. There's no real structure with the fartlek. There's no real precise stimulus or intensity. A good example of doing a fartlek is obviously you do your warm up, but you will probably want to do a 1 minute medium to fast and then 1 minute jog. But there's no precise speed or anything like that, and then repeat that 5, 10 or even 15 times depending on what level you're at. The fartlek is all about you understanding your body, getting used to mucking about, you know, just seeing how far you can push, what a sprint means, what a tempo means, what a steady state run is. You know, have some fun, because that is what the fartlek is all about. These are in a particular order, and this next one, the third one, is aerobic power. This is where it gets tough. We are all about anaerobic, getting yourself in that anaerobic state. The way to do that is to do 1 to 4 minute intervals with 1 to 4 minute equal recoveries. When you recover, you want to recover in a jog. With a jog, you don't want to lower your heart rate down too much, because you just want to get back up into that anaerobic state. These are extremely tough, and what you're doing is you're teaching the body to shift that oxygen around really quickly, to work with that lactic acid, to remove it, but also to create that ATP from it. It's a really tough phase to be in. When you're running these, you're going to be wanting to run at about 9 RPE, so they are very stressful. To lower that stress, a little tip is to run on a slight incline. It just lowers the impact on the body, but yeah, they are tough. So, you know, the main point of doing aerobic power sessions is to get anaerobic. Right, we're definitely getting somewhere now. The fourth one is threshold intervals, and this is where we are strengthening your lactate resistance beneath your threshold level. These are very individual, okay? You're going to get yourself in that uncomfortable zone, and you're going to want to stay there for a certain amount of time. A really good way of doing this is doing intervals of 8, 10, 12 minutes. with a recovery of 4 minutes at about 8 RPE. You know about tempo runs? Well, these are those, yeah, where you have continuous effort for 30 or 40 minutes, but you've got to be careful not to overdo it during your weekly plan. You don't want to be up in this level for too much, because obviously what are we about? We want to recover, and we also want to adapt. But don't worry, when you first start doing these, you know, you may go out too fast at the beginning and burn out. It's absolutely fine. It's a great way of getting your pace on point, but also it's also a really good way of pacing yourself for a 10K run. I think this is probably my favourite part of the process, the training process, and this is aerobic endurance. You're coming from 9 RPE down to 8 RPE, now you're coming at 7 RPE. These are slow intensity, big blocks, manageable training sessions, and you're looking at increasing that endurance on your aerobic engine. These are great. So how I do these, or how I'd recommend doing them, these are 15 to 20 to 30 minute blocks with obviously a recovery jog in between. The focus is definitely not on intensity, the focus is on economy of pace. These are great for marathons and these are great for ultra distances. I use these right at the end of my training block. I was doing 2 by 20 minute sessions. Obviously do the warm up, 2 by 20 with a 4-minute recovery, and I felt fantastic. Okay, so we also now have the classic long run. These runs are usually about an hour and a half or more, depending on what you're running for, what you're training for. You know, they can be as much as 7 to 8 hours a day out outing. They are definitely steady state. They're very manageable. They're a great way for the body to get used to hydration strategies. You can dial in your fuel, your nutrition, and also test out any kit. But it's very, very important you mimic your race while you're doing these long runs. When you're getting close to the race day, you definitely want to become race specific. So if you're running in mountains, you want to be training in mountains. If you're running on tarmac, you want to be training in tarmac. It's really, really important. I like to pep up my long runs. I like to do short bursts of 30 seconds, every bit of speed, every sort of 12 to 15 minutes. Sometimes I do progressive, where the last half, or negative split people call them, where the last half is faster, or I might put some longer speed blocks in there just to pep them up. So there we go, there's the 6 types of workouts, and I did say at the beginning of the video there would be a 7th. It's something which I've found over the last sort of 3 or 4 years while I've been training. I've been doing my easy runs, and I find that I actually need to do my easy runs easier. So I'm going to call this run the regenerative run. It's a right old mouthful. But it's where maybe on the day after a long run, maybe if you do your long runs on a Sunday, on the Monday, do one of these runs, maybe for 40 minutes. If you've had a back-to-back session on the weekend, you know, just go out really easy, maybe at 4 RPE, maybe 5, and just iron out those creases, get the muscles going, get the body, you know, understand, listen to your body, see if there's any issues coming, and then you can hopefully deal with them at the beginning of the week before you get into your big training block. Anyway, that's enough from me. Hopefully that training video has helped you, where it's going to improve your speed, your efficiency, and your running economy. The next training video, I'm going to talk about where I'd put these sessions within your annual, your monthly, and your weekly training plan. As always, please subscribe, leave your comments below, share the video if you know of anyone who you think would benefit, and as always, enjoy your running.